Look back and watch me smack that all on the floor. Smack that, give me some more. Smack that till you get sore. Smack that, oh, smack that all on the floor. Smack that, give me some more. Smack that till you get sore. Smack that, oh.
Alright, so if you guys are watching this, that means I made a part 2 to the first video because it got too long. So, just to sum up what had happened after I had the dirt bike stolen, right? The kid takes off on my bike, he does a wheelie down the street. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the hell? But that's not where it ends. I'm like, this kid is not stealing my dirt bike. So I get into my truck and I start chasing the kid down, okay? I start riding around the south side of Wilmington in the ghetto, and I'm asking everybody, I'm like, hey, have you guys seen the dirt bike? Now you know how it goes over there. Any hood, everybody's against snitching, so nobody says anything. But I did have a couple people that would say something. There was a group of 2 people. One of them was like, yes, I saw it. The other person was no. I asked them at the same time. And then they both looked at each other, and I'm like, all right, obviously, they're not going to tell me anything. But then I had some people that were starting to say, yeah, I saw it. I heard it and went this way. I told them what happened. Told them I got robbed. And they're like, wow, it sucks. They thought that the bike was literally just taken off of my truck. Like, that's how bad this area is. So eventually I get to this one area and I ask one guy, I'm like, hey, have you seen a dirt bike go by here at all? He's like, what color? I'm like, blue. I guess he was asking to make sure I didn't just hear one and I was just trying to steal it. And I'm like, blue. He's like, all right, why you want to know? I told him, I was like, I just got robbed. The kid just stole it. He's like, all right, he went that way. He went over to the bridge, I guess in a Newcastle. So like I said, he stole it in Wilmington, and then he went into Newcastle, because I guess he lives in Newcastle. So, I'm like, all right, man, thank you. So I go over the bridge, and now people are starting to talk. I'm like, yeah, I saw it. It just went that way a couple minutes ago. I'm like, all right, word. I'm going down. Now, I don't know how close I was, but I know I was close. I had to have been within blocks away, because everybody started saying, yeah, we just saw it. I'm like, all right, word. Maybe I'll find this kid. Now, if I find him, I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of want to beat the crap out of him, you know? But at the same time, I'm in the ghetto. He wasn't that young. He was probably like 16 to 18 would be my guess. He might have goons that have guns on him. He might have had a gun on him. Oh, look, it's a turkey. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But, anyway. So, if I found him, I don't even know what would have happened. But I didn't end up finding him, but I was close. Because everybody went from saying, yeah, we just saw it. And then nobody knew anything. Nobody saw it, nobody heard it, when people from the block over saw it. So, I had to have been within a block, I'd say, of where it actually was. And so I get out and I walk up to a stoop full of people. These people were very nice, very helpful. I told them what happened. They're like, that's awful. They asked what he looked like. And so I told him what he looked like. I still remember what he was wearing to this day. He was wearing a red True Religion sweatshirt, blue True Religion jeans, black and red Jordans, and he had no hat on or anything. And one of the people in the group, he just stops. He does one of these, like, just looks up. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, he definitely knew him, and he's like, I don't know how he was related to him, if he knew him, but he's like, the look on his face was, why is this kid out here stealing bikes from people? He's better than that. And I agree, because, like I said, this kid was a nice kid, and he was smart. You know, I was talking to him, I was getting him to know him, if I were trying to get my damn dirt bike started. You know, I think he had potential, which is why I'm pissed that he was doing this too, because he could really make something of himself. But anyway, I know this guy knows him, and I know we know where he is. But like I said, I'm in an area that I don't know. I didn't know how bad of an area it was until I got out of there, and I looked it up when I got home, which is why you should always look it up before you go there. So I'm not about to fight with this guy in a group of people in the sketchy area that I don't know. Like I said, they were nice people. just because you're in a bad area doesn't mean everybody there is bad or mean. Most people were very helpful. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take my loss before I get robbed of more than that, or I get shot or something. So I drove to the police station in Wilmington and filed the police report. I think it was Eden Park, was the park I met him at. And I just filed the report saying that it was stolen. The cops looked at me like I was an idiot, obviously, because there were so many signs, and I was just greedy for money. I wasn't even thinking about anything bad that could happen. So I kind of screwed myself there. But eventually, about a month later, this was March 23rd, I got robbed. On April 26th, this is May 1st when I'm recording this, I get a phone call at like 9:30 at night on a Wednesday. And I'm like, you know, I normally don't answer phone calls for numbers that I don't know. But I was like, you know what, it's 9:30 at night, I don't know this area code. It's a weird time to be calling someone. So let me just see what's up. Maybe it's a long shot, but maybe it'll be the police calling about my dirt bike. And so sure enough, I pick up the phone. I'm like, hello? They're like, hey, is this my name? I'm not gonna disclose my name. Hey, is this Brap Genius? It's obviously not what he said, but that's what he asked. He asked my name. I'm like, yes, it is. What's up? He's like, hey, this is Officer so-and-so with the Wilmington Police Department. We found your dirt bike. And I was just in shock. I was so happy. I was like, are you guys serious? You really found my dirt bike? And he's like, well, we didn't. Newcastle did. The police department, they had it towed. So you're gonna have to call them and figure out what you gotta do. But you reported it with us as stolen, so we're the ones that are gonna call you about it since that's our case. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, thank you guys so much. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was in shock. I was so happy. I was ecstatic. So I called the Newcastle Police Department. Like I said, this is Wednesday night. Now I have a double on Thursdays. So getting off both shifts was not going to happen. So I was going to, and then I had work Friday night. So I was just going to wait till Saturday to go down and pick it up. I called the police station. It was kind of weird because since it was in Newcastle where they grabbed it, they didn't have the stolen police report from Wilmington. So they were confused. They were sending me back and forth. They actually sent me to the tow yard. I called them and they told me what I needed to do. And they told me that I'm getting charged every day that it's there. So I need to go pick it up ASAP. So Friday, sure enough, I call Thursday night when I get out of work again. And I call the Newcastle Police Department and I tell her everything. And she's like, yep, all you have to do is come here to the Newcastle Police Department. We'll give you the release form for the bike and then you can just go and pick it up. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Thank you. That police officer was very helpful. I want to thank her for telling me what I need to do, because I was kind of confused prior to that. But yeah, so she helps me out. She tells me what I need to do. And then Friday, I go down there. So then it's the next day, it's Friday. I'm driving down there to go and pick it up. I drive all the way to Newcastle. And these police officers have no idea what I'm talking about. I told them I have a stolen dirt bike. I was told to come here. They don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to the officer about it for a couple minutes. I told him I talked to the lady the night before. She said she was going to leave out the release form for the officers so that I wouldn't have a problem. So I told him that, and then another officer in the background. Meanwhile, this was going on for like 10 minutes. The officer in the background's like, oh, is it a Yamaha? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, it's right here. And the cop I was talking to was like, we were trying to figure this out for 10 minutes. And you're just finally gonna just wake up and notice that. But I was just happy to get the release form. So then I had to drive another half hour into Delaware to go and pick this bike up. Which was, that in of itself was great. So I go to this tow yard. I had to pay the guy whatever to get it out. But sure enough, there it is. I go and check out the bike. And I have my bike back, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, it's a little different, but at least it's in one piece. I was thinking maybe it was going to be stripped out or something, stripped down for parts. I don't know what to expect. So I was just happy to see it in one piece. Now, in terms of how the cops got it back, they didn't tell me. I might call and see if they have a police report about what actually happened. But my assumption is, because when I went to pick up the bike from the tow yard, there was 0 gas in the gas tank. I've never had a bike so low on gas in my life. And the chain was actually so loose that it was off the sprocket. So what I'm assuming is either the kid ran out of gas, or the chain fell off while he was running from the cops. Because like I said, he's in the ghetto. There's no real places to ride. So you're just popping wheelies on the street. I'm assuming a cop was chasing him. He dumped the bike. And it's not his bike. Obviously he cared about it. You know, the bike's running a lot better than it was when I got rid of it. And he put new grips on it, quote unquote new. These bars are not mine. Put those on too, took off the stickers, changed it up a little bit, I guess so it wouldn't be as noticeable. I don't know. But he changed everything out. And then I was able to come and I was able to grab it. So I had to drive 2.5 hours back to get the bike, and that itself was crazy, because then I drove for like 6 hours and I had like no time once I got back. I had no time before work. I had maybe like 20 minutes or something before I had to go to work. This, like I said, this is by far the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. Stupidest thing I've ever done. But like I said, it's a miracle that I was able to get it back. And I definitely learned my lesson. I told all my friends and family and you guys that I sold it because I was embarrassed and I didn't want to have to think about it. I really didn't. If I told people, then every time I saw someone that I knew, they'd ask me what happened, I'd have to just keep thinking about it, and I didn't want to do that. But I told myself and God that if I ever saw this bike again, if I ever got it back, I would make a YouTube video to tell you guys about it. And hopefully you guys would be able to learn something when you're dealing with Craigslist. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. You know, as always, have a great day. Peace.